GameStop stock is in a very important spot here. Although we did have some bad fundamentals come into play, gapping us down around 17% and continuing down to the floor, reaching back to this important ascending support, being around a 24% move to the downside. We have seen some tightening in price action, and we are meeting right back up with a long-term resistance. That exact resistance that stemmed off of that double top around that 34-38 level and leading us into a longer-term descending wedge pattern where we come right back down to this ascending support. That's where you see a volatile move. So somebody has to win this fight. We're either going to squeeze out of this resistance level or we are going to give way, and the sellers are going to push the buyers below that $22.49 level and this ascending support. Now, this ascending support has held up quite nicely, guys. We trend in the past here. We see after that very volatile move to the upside and correction, we do find some very nice ascending support. This is where we kind of find this support. It's the first notable marker, bringing us up even higher in a very volatile fashion. And we come back down. And every time we touch the support, guys, it gives us a nice bounce to the upside. Touch it again here, see a nice bounce, come back down towards it, not quite at it. Bounce back up, come right back to it, bounce. You can kind of see this thing holds up quite nicely. And after that bounce, we do see a continue move up, leading to this descending wedge pattern. And we do get stuck in this pattern for quite some time, guys, until we do meet right back up with this ascending support. It kind of gives us that point to get a nice movement to the upside. Then we get in a tighter fashion, kind of squeeze out of that long-term resistance, get really, really tight, then boom, leads to that volatile move to that 35.81 level. And then it's safe to say that we are out of that zone, but then we do see a bit of tightening price action. We kind of break this ascending support here, and then bad fundamentals come into play. Several things, right? The more notable things is that GameStop made an investment in Bitcoin, caused a lot of controversy through investors, and then also just coming out with bad sales reports, right? The company's still struggling with online digital games, winning over GameStop's actual sales. So plummets us a lot, a solid gap down, and we can't really find an answer. We do meet back up with that ascending support, though, which is important because right when we meet back up with that, we do see a bounce to the upside, just like it has done every single time, which leads us to a bit of an ascending profile. We break that. We hold that 22.49 as support. Another ascending profile, break that. Try to test that resistance marker here. Come back down to the floor. We break that support. It can't hold up, but once again, what holds up? That ascending support. We get kind of back in that range and we get really tight. Try to squeeze out, cannot, and squeeze out. We're just about squeezing out once again. So you can just see very tight comparative to the more recent price action, guys. And we try to squeeze out of that range, cannot. The sellers really don't get pushed down all that much. We kind of just hover right above that point. You see a red type of hammer candle here, taking the drawings off, showing that there is a good amount of buying pressure here and the buyers don't want to get pushed down. So we're either going to see a flush-like effect, breaking this 22.49, retesting the support where either that's going to break, leading to more room to the downside towards that 20.80 level, kind of where we got that double bottom like effect, meeting back up with that ascending support and that big move to the upside. Or we're finally going to see a short squeeze effect, guys, filling this gap here, trying to get a move above that 24.45 and start to fill this big gap down here. So although nothing is completely set in stone, guys, all that we do know is there's going to be a winner within this fight, and we're in a pretty interesting spot here. I think within the next couple of trading days, guys, we do see that big short squeeze like effect, or we do see that plummet downwards, trying to retest this support level here. And one of these small cap stocks are very manipulated, where you could see volume really flush in here at an important breakout zone, or we could be headed in a continued downtrend, testing that ascending support, and then that 20.83 if that cannot hold. If we look on the weekly, guys, it shows that we are much tighter here compared to the past price action. Just really, really tightening up. The closest thing that we see to that, probably stemming back here, right? We get really tight, very similar to what we see here, and we kind of just flush. After we flush, we see a short squeeze to the upside, but could be either getting a short squeeze to the upside here or flushing a bit. So very similar spot we're in right now. We're either going to flush to the downside and test these lower support levels, or it's time that we get a bit of a short squeeze like effect, filling that big gap down that we had. So that's all I got for you guys. I think GameStop's in a pretty interesting spot here, given why I'm covering it today. I think that we could be getting a big volatile move to the upside here if buyers really come in and volume can spike. If you know GameStop, this stock is very pros to these big moves to the upside and downside. So we're in a spot where somebody's going to win this fight, and it could lead to a very volatile move to the up or downside. Given that we are more beat up, guys, I think we could be seeing a nice move to the upside here, and especially considering that we held up at this support when we had a big move to the downside, a big gap down and continue move, but we don't get pushed down further. And a lot of investors thought after a huge gap down like that, we would be getting pushed down further, but that ascending support holds up and it holds up again. So if I were to predict off a technical analysis perspective, I think we do see that short squeeze like effect to the upside, but you definitely want to see volume flush in here for that movement. But yeah, guys, let me know your predictions for the short term of GameStop. And as always, trade smart. I will see you all in the next one.